Denmark has drawn a line, and the bridge behind me, they have put checks to stop and search anyone coming from Sweden after Copenhagen has seen more than a dozen explosions in the city this year alone. The Danes blame it on rival gangs, mostly from Sweden, and hoping that these checks will put an end to it.
The explosion at the tax agency and the double killing in Herlev are examples of the serious crimes that can flow across the border from Sweden. We will not accept that. To counter the threat of serious cross-border crime, we are now strengthening protection at the border with Sweden by introducing temporary controls and strengthening police efforts in the area.
Denmark and Sweden are both EU and Schengen area members. The Øresund Bridge used to be a free passport bridge for nearly 60 years, but not anymore for at least 6 months. It is this bridge that the Danish authorities believe perpetrators crossed into Denmark, causing all the explosions. But as bombings become a worrying trend in the usually safe country, here in Sweden, criminal gangs are on the rise. According to official statistics, there have been 38 more explosions this year than 2018. But it's not only the explosions. Gun-related crimes are fast becoming a concern too. During the 90s, the average were 4 per year. Now, nearly 40, and the public puts these incidents down to immigrants. But intelligence chief says it is not correct to link newcomers to criminal organizations.
In Sweden, they do not make official counts of who's Swedish and who is actually an immigrant. So in Sweden they do not know this, but we make these counts in Denmark, and we can see that a lot of those who are arrested, they are second and third generation immigrants. The people who are arrested, who are from Sweden, who does these attacks in Copenhagen, are also second and third generation immigrants. Of course, it would be normal to show that there's a problem with second and third generation immigrants, and that is also why we do this in Denmark, because we have to know what the problem is before we can do anything about it.
From the famously soft approach that once worked well in Sweden, the government has gone 180 degrees by announcing a plan allowing police to have greater stop and search powers, but also making it easier for them to search suspects' houses and access their devices. And all this with the backing of Swedish officials.
We welcome that Denmark is taking action to fight crime in the Øresund region. I have respect for the Danish government strengthening border control in order to keep criminals on a short leash.
The country of Little Mermaid, bicycles and Lego had its fair share of violence in the past. In the 90s, this quiet country saw bombings and shootings by rival biker gangs, but no checkpoints were introduced. Well, whether you blame it on the migrant crisis or not, borders in Europe are becoming real again. Evangelos Sipsas for RT.